So we have our second flat tire, and there's a big issue with these tires in the sense of that the motor is encased in the wheel, and so and a lot of bike places flat out will not fix it because of the liability. I'm going to show you how to repair this tire today without taking the wheel off. This is what you need. The first thing you need to do before you start prying is to get it all unseated, because we're going to pry that tire off right where she sits. You're working your way up around the tire and you get it all off. So here it is, loose. I'm thinking I hear it near the valve stem, so I have no choice but to take the valve stem out. Now once we fill it up, we'll go silent so we can really listen for the hole. Bingo! Now this is the kind of puncture that is perfect for a patch, because it'll take a patch beautifully and be stronger than any other part of the tube. So that hole becomes pretty invisible, so I'm trying to get a marker, our little grease pen, just to point at it, just so we know that's where it's at, right there. One thing you want is just a regular old patch kit, the old-fashioned. They've been around 70 years. There's a buffer on the top of it to roughen up the inner tube. So at least enough to cover what I know that patch is. So you can see it's dried. It's kind of not quite fully glossy. That means it's ready. So here goes. We're gonna try not to touch the patch at all. And then because we marked it right there, I know it's right, even though I can't see the hole, I know it's right there. We just came off approximately where we thought it was, and there is the culprit right there. Now on the inside, I can barely feel the bump on the inner rubber in there, but it's so close to our hole that it has to be the culprit. Okay, so we're gonna try to grab it because I'd like to see what it is. It's pieces of glass that's crumbling as I pull it out. See? Brian, can you get that glass right there? See? It was a piece of broken glass. Here's the stem. I've made sure there's no obstructions, and it's almost through. Okay, so now that the valve stem is in place, it's really not difficult at all just to start putting the tire back in, or the tube back into the tire. It can get twisted, so we will be very careful to check to make sure it's in there where it's not got a bind or a twist. You know, putting this in is not very hard until you get right to the tail end, and then you'll need your tools. See, it's in all the way to here, so now we need our tools. So now we are just making sure the valve stem is nice and straight, that everything seems to be good, and it's ready to be filled with air. This can be an ego booster here, or not. Cut.